Okay. Do you want to start with, like... Let's start with Katie.
Oh, God. Okay.
Just have to pull out the thing I prepared. I should have done this earlier. Okay. So basically, again, with the camera angles and everything, because I just like the idea. We have an office building in New York City. It's clearly a government office building. And then we're like in the office itself, and we see a woman sitting on her workstation doing office work. Do you want to tell everyone what you look like, Vera?
So, she's about 5'10", tall, thin frame. She's got red hair, and she's got, like, very bright green eyes. She's kind of got, like,
When you're doing it again.
You're like us.
She's kind of got, like, a athletic frame, thin athletic frame. And she's just, like, very... You can tell, like, she's very proper. Her chest is up. Her shoulders are square. She's just very serious.
Yeah, so you're at your workstation, and suddenly there's a memo pops up on screen. And it's basically a memo from your boss telling you that he wants to talk to you. By the way, your boss is called Leo Provenza. So, Agent Provenza, if you will. Yeah, so do you ignore it? Do you go to his office?
I'll go to his office.
It's probably a good idea. And basically, Miss Karass, great. We got a thing for you. You're gonna be on your first field mission.
Cool.
Now I know you've not been here for so long, and we usually don't do this that quickly, but some things come up, and we might meet an unfamiliar face on the streets. It's happening again.
I'm gonna leave the call and I'm gonna come back and see if it works.
Okay. Yeah, basically there have been sightings of that a member of like an international secret terrorism cell has been sighting of them in New York City. And the fact that you might not be known to them might be a chance for them to prevent them going into hiding the second an agent appears. You're getting like it's still there, Gwen. So.
This time maybe like the sound of a distant.
You could mute yourself until you're about to say something, so or like push to talk, stuff like that. I'm sorry.
Baronies.
You're getting help from a special agent from out of the state, out of state. That's gonna be a partner for the time being. Again, in hopes that they're not on file for New York. Yeah, the special agent, you're supposed to meet him, and like you give him an address. You're supposed to meet him. It's a diner, bit out of the city, and his name is Ezekiel Ferguson, and he's from Texas.
said, that's where I'm from. Yeah.
Yeah, but you're not called Ezekiel Ferguson, I think.
No, I'm not. Got me there.
So yeah, you get to the place. Any preferred way of transportation? Just taking a cab or something like that. Yes. So you get to the diner, and it's pretty obvious who the agent is supposed to be, because he's sitting in the corner, very serious, in a suit, and like intently staring at you.
Just.
What do you do?
Okay. I have options, or do I just?
What do you do?
Just go up to him and sit down.
Sure. Okay, I've been awaiting you, Miss Karass, Agent Karass now. Yeah, do you know what we're working with?
Not necessarily, no.
Well, I thought as much, seeing as you're a complete newbie. So let me recap the whole thing for you. There is a potential terrorist somewhere. Someone said they have been seen, so our job is to prevent them from disrupting our way of life, from destroying the foundation of a great country. Basically, there's this one place where they're supposed to be seen around recently, and we're gonna go check that out. And you're gonna do as I say, so we don't both get killed.
Interesting. Do I have to do what you say?
Well, technically, I'm currently your superior agent, so it would be recommended.
Gotcha.
Okay, let's go. I already paid, and the car is waiting outside.
Okay.
He stands up, scoots out of his seat, and heads towards the exit. What do you do?
I promptly put a tip down for the waitress, and then follow him out.
Yeah, it's outside is like a black limousine type of car. Just if you think of a state agent and try to get some of the cliches in there, he's doing great on that front. Yeah, he gets in the car, you get in the car, and you're driving straight back into New York City, so the whole trip out was pretty useless. Yeah. You it's not a long drive, like 30 minutes tops. Maybe 40. Yeah, and it's an apartment building that's completely burned. Like there was fire.
Oof.
And yeah, it does not look very safe to enter. But yeah, Ezekiel, he just parks right in front of it, gets out, goes up to the door, and looks at you expectantly.
Okay. So I'm gonna follow. Bless you. I'm gonna follow him out, obviously, and stare up at the building. and be like, what the hell's going on? Why are we here?
Well, this is the place where they're supposed to be, where someone said that the person of interest was last seen. So, of course, we're gonna check it out.
Mm-hmm.
Stay right behind me, and let's go investigate.
Okay.
And he heads straight through the door. Give me let's roll.
Okay.
Give me what it would be perception investigation probably. So just take the points you have in perception, take the points you have in investigation, add them up, take that many dice and roll them. And for roll 20, just type /R, the number of dice, D10, and press enter.
Perception, and you said, what was the other one?
Investigation.
Investigation. Okay. So it's 2 and 2. It's 4 and
You have
3. Oh,
3 dice. 3 dice perception,
yeah. So that's 5. So we take
5 D10.
Trying to figure out how to do this. 5 D10, you said?
Yeah, /R space 5 D10. Okay, that's 2 successes because of the 10. That gives you 2 successes, and the rest is nothing.
Okay.
So yeah, 2 successes it's still pretty average. So it takes you a while, but at some point you find like you come upon a locked hatch in a corner that leads down into some sort of basement. Ezekiel immediately draws his gun and orders you to stay up here. Watch my back. I'm going down there to investigate. Just don't do anything irresponsible. And he just breaks open the lock. The woods, it's made of wood, the hatch itself, and it's the fire has damaged it a lot. And he steps down the stairs and goes around the corner, and as soon as you think he's out of earshot, you hear a voice right next to you, whispering in your ear. He will try to kill you. They know what you are, and they are afraid. We can help you and show you what you're capable of. The world needs you.
That's not terrifying.
And you try to turn around and see what it is, but you just make out a glimpse of movement of the corner of your eye, and there's nothing there in the entire room. So yeah, the voice it sounded female, but you can't tell much more than that.
Okay.
What do you do now?
I keep it in the back of my head, and I continue upward, thinking that maybe it was just, like, I dismiss it in a way, but, like, still kind of, like, think about it and keep it there and just try to figure out what was going on.
Shortly after, you hear a second voice, but this time it comes from downstairs, and it's here. I think I found something here. You gotta see that. So, do you go downstairs?
I do go downstairs.
It's very dark down here. You can barely make out any details. there are a couple of holes in the ceiling, stuff like that. So there's a bit of light down here. And in a corner of the room, there are a couple of crates, and Ezekiel is standing next to them, looking at something behind the crates. And he motions you to come.
Okay.
And points at something in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
You don't see anything right now.
Hi, Chris.
What did you do?
Hi, Chris.
Oh, hey.
You said I don't see anything there?
Not from where you're standing right now.
So I'm gonna walk forward to stand next to him to get a better look.
It's still like 5-6 feet to the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And you're still too dark to make out any details.
Do I have a flashlight on me, or can I say that I have a flashlight on me?
Sure thing.
Okay.
You would probably have a flashlight on you.
Yeah, like one of those like police flashlights.
Yeah, you have a flashlight. You have a gun with you, like the standard issue.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Also, if it's important, a notebook, a pen, but I don't think that comes in handy right now. So you shine the flashlight in the corner, and there might be something, but you're not entirely sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like scratches. So you take a step closer to it, and yeah, in that moment you feel something hard pressed against your back.
Ooh.
And Ezekiel goes, he starts monologuing. We know that you're one of them.
Oh.
I have killed your likes before, and nothing you will do or won't do in this case will stop them from coming back to destroy this pity world. And until the times come, those who serve them will reign. And he takes a step back. Takes another. He's like 2 or 3 yards away from you.
Mm.
Big step.
And she pulls the trigger, and there's a shot.
Oh.
And there's a gust of wind. And yeah, that's it. What do you do?
So you said that I pulled the shot?
He pulled the trigger.
Okay,
He
so...
shot. And nothing happened, and you're still with your back to him, so...
Okay, so nothing happened, and he shot. So I guess I turn around.
And you turn around, and on the floor there is a bullet, cut in 2. And on the other side of the room, on the far end, where the stairs came down, there is a person. Can't make out too much. It's dark again. Still dark. It didn't get bright.
No
Either.
windows.
Yeah, and the person has 2 swords one sword in each hand.
Ooh.
Been impressed if it was 2 swords in each hand.
Yeah, also pretty useless. And then Ezekiel turns around to face the person, and the barrel of his gun falls off, clean cut.
It's a sawed-off.
Oh my god. And you notice that the gun he was using was not standard issue.
Uh-oh.
It has like some weird symbols carved on the side of it. You don't know anything about that. Yeah. What do you do?
I go to shoot him.
Okay. Make a shot. That would be your dexterity plus your marksmanship, of which you have none.
Oops.
Plus one, so you have 3 dice, and you get a -2 modifier because you're not trained.
So then I have 1.
No, you still get 3 dice, but the result gets a -2 modifier.
Okay, how do I do the modifier? Or is that...
we're gonna do that. I can do it in my head. I usually do that, so...
Okay. So then just the 3 die, I guess, yeah.
Yeah. Because technically you don't get a modifier, you get... the target number is increased by 2, so... But it's the same, basically.
So then it would be slash...
3d10. R/R3d10.
R/3d10. Okay.
/R3d10. Yeah. Happens.
There we go.
Okay, that's 1 success, because 7 and higher is a success. So you take out the gun, you shoot, but in a moment you fire straight into the floor, basically.
Great.
Ezekiel pulls out a second gun. This time it's a standard issue gun, and shoots at the person. You still don't know anything about this person, but I'm gonna roll for that. But I'm not too hopeful about his chances. Okay, he rolled a bit better than you, but not by a lot. And yeah, pretty impressive. The person dashes forward, deflects the bullet with the flat of one blade, and right before the person reaches him, disappears.
Ooh.
And then you look around, and she's standing on the other side of the crates, and just before Ezekiel goes to fire again, the portion of the ceiling above him collapses right on top of him. So what do? You're in a dark room with a person who tried to kill you, another person you don't know anything about that just killed the person that tried to kill you, and for some reason, apparently your agency tried to have you... What do you do?
I guess, I'm trying to think. My first instinct would be, because so you said that stuff crashed on top of him, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's immobilized, he's...
Want to investigate it?
I could investigate it, but I'll investigate it just to be sure of what's going on.
Again, roll your perception and investigation. Because you have time and you can get down and push stuff around, so you don't... So it's investigation again.
Investigation 2. So that's 5. Okay.
It's 1 success.
Ouch.
So the pieces of rubble look. They don't look like they broke off. They look like they've been cut and fell. And the agent underneath that got actually has a half cut off pipe sticking out of his back. And does not seem to breathe. You don't have to roll it. He does not seem to breathe.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, so he's not breathing, you said, so let me think. Okay, so I'm just gonna
And there's blood, so...
There's blood? Because
yeah.
Okay.
Pipe sticking out of his back.
Yeah, that makes sense. You would bleed.
Well, that, unless he wasn't human.
That's true. That's true. And the person is still standing in the other side of the room.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess I would ask the person on the other side of the room who they are and why they helped me, or like who they were and like what was going on. I don't know.
Person, it's the same voice you heard earlier.
Mm-hmm.
It was, I was once like you are. It's a while back, but we still need your help, and it would be a waste to have someone like you die. I'm sorry, I'm not doing the female voice very good, very well right now, so...
I think an accent.
Well, no, she does not have a voice like I do. That's just... But yeah, you take a closer look. Because you still don't know what this person looks like.
I'm going to ask again. I'm going to ask another question before I move forward, just to be wary, and just ask who, I guess, like, why me? And, like, what is so special about me, I guess?
Well, there's why you, we found out about your heritage, and you could be incredibly useful. So we made the decision to come and get you before they try to prevent that.
And
I'm not sure I should tell you more about that, but maybe I should. So basically, me and a couple of colleagues, companions, friends, whatever you want to call them, we've been saving this world for the past decade, maybe a bit more, but we need more help. You could prove to have the power to help, and I am asking you to come follow me so I can introduce you to the rest, and then we'll see. Because let's face it, if you return to your agency, someone else is gonna try again.
Right. Okay. How do I know that I can trust them, though?
You don't. That's the fun part.
Okay.
Well, I just saved your life. Just let's put it there.
That's true. Okay.
It's all a ploy.
So I'll like warily go with the person and follow the person out, I guess. It's very, very wary.
She just turns to the basement and goes back up.
Mm-hmm.
She's waiting outside of the hatch. So still the first floor area until you exited, came out of the hatch, and then grabbed his sword. And in the blur of movement, you can't really make out. Does something, puts the sword back, and the hatch collapses completely, burying the first part of the basement.
Oh shit.
Yeah, now up here it's brighter. You can see it's a still relatively young woman, light skin, dark hair, one eye completely covered by the hair, in a dark gray. Your camera just in a dark trench coat. Yeah, she's average height, and you can't make out much more because of the trench coat.
Okay. I like trench coats.
Yeah, the two of you exit the building, and she asks if you have a chance of getting to the middle of the ocean, like a mode of transportation, or if she should take care of that. What do you say?
If I have a mode of transportation, or I guess, like, I don't have a mode of transportation because the agency gave us the car, so, like, why would I mean, unless it's, like, able to be tracked, because I don't want to, like, take it and then be tracked somewhere so they can find me again.
Yeah, you'd also still have to get somewhere into the middle of the ocean.
Yeah, in the middle of the ocean? Let me drive in the middle of the ocean.
That's what she said. Basically, just ask if you have, like, access to a boat or a plane or something like that.
Do I have access to that? I don't think...
Probably not. You could try and steal one.
That's true. I mean, well, depends on where we are, because if we're by a marina, I can totally do that, because there are...
You're in like, the outskirts of New York City.
Okay. So the water, the Hudson should be right there with the water. All right.
But can you steer a boat or a plane?
Well, let's see if I have on my character sheet if I have the ability.
Do you have control aircraft or control boat?
No, I do not. I have no control points.
So yeah, you're hesitant, so she just assumes you're not. Yeah, she grabs inside of a trench coat, grabs out what looks like a pair of goggles, protective eyewear, and hands them to you. Yeah, you take them, put them on.
Yeah, I'll put them
on. As you put them on, she actually grabs you, jumps into the air pretty high, stays into the air, just about 10-15 yards above street level, and takes off flying right towards the ocean. And God, she's fast. And I'm talking, like, I did the maths earlier. It would be about 315 kilometers per second, or like 200 miles per hour, not per second, per hour. 200 miles per hour. And she's just taking off.
Oh my God. I like my goggles. That way my eyes don't dry out.
Oh my God. But meanwhile, her arm is completely dislocated.
Yeah, right?
She did not grab you by the arm. She put her arm around your waist.
Oh, okay. So my back breaks.
Yeah. Yep. She has a few cracked ribs in her lung.
Funnily enough, no, it doesn't. But
Magic.
it's still taking a couple of hours.
Mhm.
But at some point you spot in the distance something. You're still in the middle of the ocean. You just flew right out there.
Mhm.
But you see something in the middle of the way, and she heads straight towards it, and it looks like it's a drilling rig,
Mhm.
and it has a helipad, and she just lands right there and lets you down, and yeah, you just been it's been an experience.
It's been. I would say.
But yeah, we're gonna leave you at that and join and go take a little break.
Okay.
We're gonna go to the rest of the players.
Cool.
Hi, you haven't had a chance to do anything yet.
Yay.
So when we last left you guys, you got your introduction.
Yes.
Yeah, she picked up my car.
Yeah.
And we were probably
Well, she picked it up twice.
At least.
And you're standing in like the loading area in the bottom floor of the rig. And yeah, still across from you are the 4 strange people and the very big wolf.
Yeah.
That happened. So what do you guys do?
I'm still trying to pet the dog.
It's not a dog, but the wolf. It's very, and it looks at you funny, and the small girl next to it. At some point, she allows you to touch it. Yeah. It's big, it's fluffy, and it apparently loves being squished behind its ears.
I forgot. Like, what were we? Like, I remember we met them, but then I don't remember much after that. Like, it's.
Well, the man in the suit picked you up at the Olympic tryouts. Then you got on a boat and came here.
Right, and then
We had
the guy in the suit was like godly cousin or whatever, right?
Cousin is the big word, but yeah, similar heritage. Let's call it that.
But I just can't remember, like, I just can't remember, like, because I feel like I'm being presented with a choice of, like, what do you do now? And I'm like, I don't know,
Yeah.
what do I do now?
You could strike up a conversation. You could, to paint a picture again, the 4 people. If you might not remember, one of them is the man in the dark suit with dark hair and a beard. Then we have the small woman with her wolf next to her. Then we have another woman in a pencil skirt with eyes, eerily wolf-like eyes that Chris saw once before. And we have the red-headed woman with a cheerful smile that's still the reason why Marcus is freaking out. I'm so sorry. Not Chris, it was Zack. My bad.
Let's not get meta here.
Too meta.
This is a purely RP game.
Yeah. Do you do anything or just stand around staring at stuff?
Stuff and things.
I'm
Stuff
in
and things and
I am in
crates and...
search of a shower.
do you just go off or do you ask them that?
I'm asking, Where can I take a shower? I'm still covered in blood. It's uncomfortable.
Oh yeah, the bunks are. We'll show you. The woman in the pencil skirt comes up and. Yeah, I'll show you the bunks. Just give me a second to make out the logistics and yeah. In that moment, Battlesworth is apparently got a message of some sort, and then pipes up, looks at you. Well, it looks like we have another guest, and they took the less comfortable path here, so I'll tell them to meet us. Yeah, sure. Let's meet at the rooms and in my office. So please follow me. And he marches off right towards an exit.
Okay.
And the others seem to follow him. The wolf is kind of hesitant between still bothering Minari for being scratched but then starts following the others around.
Alright.
I'll just follow them as well.
I'm assuming all of you do so. Yeah, you go and you get outside, and there's a couple of stairs leading up one floor, and yeah, there is it's the upper floor. Like there's 3 floors: bottom, mid, and upper floor, and you just go up all the way, and there's it's basically a type of building, but it's not very pretty. It's functional. It's a big cube, and the doors open. All of them march in there and take the second door to the left. Yep, second door to the left, and are in a roomy office. It's actually pretty nice in there. It's wood, and there's a couch. It's actually, someone has an open fireplace in here. So there's a tea on the desk, and 2 people are standing in this room. One woman in a trench coat, and another woman that has very wild hair, a pair of goggles, and looks a bit out of it. Welcome, Ruth. Glad you could make it, and let's get you something to drink, young lady. Would you like some tea, Miss Karass?
Always.
Great. He just grabs. It doesn't even look. Just grabs a cup, fills it up, and hands it to you.
Just take it.
He looks at you. He just doesn't look at the cup. Yeah. It smells nice. It's like it's tea brewed to perfection. So you imagine he does it quite often.
I'm a slut for tea.
And so now that we okay, let's start this all again. Because we have a newcomer, and I think some of you might still need a bit more explanation.
Thank you.
We are gods, or at least we might be at some point, and you might be as well. You probably don't know this, but the gods are real, and there's a war, and we're losing. Every single person in this room, well, with one exception, but that's not important right now, is the child of a god of old. And yeah, our job is to protect the world from the spawn of the Titans who have taken over most big organizations and governments secretly. And yeah, protect the world. We, while admittedly we are quite powerful, our mere presence, let's leave it at that. We have the power we bring sometimes attracts more power from the opposite side. So we need you guys to help us do our job, because we can't be everywhere. We try, but yeah, we have a job offer for you. We have a mission for you. We need help with, but we don't need to help with it. You're gonna do it on your own. It's in, and you have a week until we go there. You can, don't worry, you will have all the time to talk to us in this time. Let's start over again. Do you have any more questions? Because I see on some faces that there might be some.
You say we're children of gods, but who are our parents? There are so many.
Well, Lyra, you have the list, I assume. You always have the list. And, thank you. Who of you was, Zack? Zack. That was you, right? I should really... Right, we said this before, but apparently you are a child of Vidar. God of Norse, and yeah, so you have some of that blood of the giants of old in you. Really, I should really put the names down. Jacob.
Yes.
You are, as we said before, kind of related to me, because both of us are the children of the gods of the Aztec gods. While my father was Tlaloc. You are a child of Huitzilopochtli. Did I get that right?
Almost.
Next time. Yes. And the others of you, Marcus, you are actually kind of related to our lovable Tess over here, and she points towards the redhead. Oh, actually, you two have you and our newcomer, Miss Vera, share the same pantheon with our mechanic over there. While Marcus is a son of Zeus. Miss Vera over here is a daughter of Athena. So I know a little bit about Greek mythology, so I know that family drama is like inherent, and I hope that you don't have a problem with any of that.
Well, it's like uncle, kind of.
And last but not least, our Minari over here is a daughter of Itanami, the Japanese goddess of the dead. Yeah, I hope that it thinks. Yes.
I was gonna say like, I don't think you mentioned like what my god was and what Chris's god was. Like not their names, but like what they're gods of.
I once looked it up. I swear, I just seem to forget it immediately again.
We see that possibly my godly parent is the god of war and it was war and sacrifice.
Yeah, that's technically true, but for the Aztec gods, that's like true for half of the gods, sacrifice part at least. Yeah. So just for you, Vidar is
god of vengeance.
Yeah, he is known for his justice and vengeance. Therefore, yeah, his sort of justice. And yeah, it's I'm not gonna try the name again right now because it's been a long day. Yeah, he's god of war, god of the sun, and also sacrifice. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you might want a little rest. I know someone requested a shower, and I think you, Miss Karass, might want to get a little rest. So we have a couple of rooms around here, and basically around the corridor you went along. There's like 4 or 5 rooms that are not bunk rooms. And it's a small room, maybe 10 by 10 feet, with 1 bunk bed with 2 beds in them, and like a locker or 2. So please try and make yourself as comfortable as you can. Just how are you gonna? Who is gonna share a room with whom?
I call the bottom bunk.
I don't want family drama, my dude.
No, and there's actually enough rooms for everyone to have their own room if you want. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different rooms just on this corridor. That's just bunk rooms.
I guess I'm gonna take one by myself because I trust no one.
Personally, I am not open to. I mean, I'm not closed to sharing a room. I'm fine with it.
I'm gonna go sleep in my car.
Oh
my god! You're gonna have to find your car first.
Throw me on the landing pad.
Yeah, but yeah, being a Olympic athlete in training, I'm used to sharing spaces, so I'm completely okay if anyone wants to share. It's cool.
But before you go, Sir Bellsworth goes. Let's have like a half-minute break, and we'll meet back here again so we can discuss the details of your assignment, if you so choose. Mm-hmm. So please take a break, relax a little, and welcome to our home base.
Yay!
Yay!
What are you all gonna do in these 30 minutes?
I'm taking my shower, and once I'm done, I'll just investigate the entire area and just see how much ground I can cover.
I'm going to unpack my things that I brought with me and make sure everything's still there. Just be safe.
Yep.
At least you have things. Not all of you have.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't have things, so I'm just gonna
have a car. So that's one more car than I have. Out there.
I'm gonna go into my room and I'm going to, I think, wrap up my gun and hide it in my pillow or somewhere like where no one can find it. conceal my things, and then I'm
To,
gonna.
to like open the pillowcase
Concealing
and put it in
carry.
there.
Katie's
Yeah.
going to kill us all.
Just like cut
Well,
it in the mattress, pull it out.
To be honest, I don't think she's gonna kill you with the gun, considering her marksmanship of 0.
Pew pew, I'm a stormtrooper. Woo!
She's gonna try that thing where she uses the pillow as a silencer, but the pillow's just gonna absorb the bullets. Which is so not good.
Safe,
God.
still on.
Yeah. Then I'll walk out after that, and I'll go, talk.
I-
and get to know people.
Well, who do you pick? Who do you talk to?
What are everybody's names again?
Right. Yeah, the 4 of you who've been here before, you should probably also introduce yourself, so that might be a good idea. Because there's like asymmetric amount of
My name,
Riley's really excited. Riley, you go first.
yes, I'm very excited. I'm also really cold, so I'm energetic.
Ow.
My name is Jacob Gustamante. I am I'm a Hispanic kid, I was like early 20s. I'm an Olympic athlete in training, or at least was, for javelin throwing. And so that is some of the things that I did bring with me were my Olympic javelins.
It's pretty big.
Yeah. But, so since I was athlete training, I'm kind of, I look like an athlete, an Olympic athlete,
You're shredded.
not
very top heavy since he's a javelin thrower.
Got
Yeah.
those shoulders.
Yeah.
Those traps.
but had basically grew up in a border town in Texas. Didn't have all that much. Just kind of kept to his. Learned a lot of morals from his mother. And just trying to be the best athlete he can be. Because he has a nice head on his shoulders. He's a kid.
On those nice shoulders. Nice head on those nice shoulders.
So Marcus, tell us a bit about yourself.
Hi, I'm Marcus, and Katie, you know David Boreanaz from Bones?
Yes.
That's me. It's just I have a very deep and long backstory that I'm not going to share in this call because it's
okay.
too much.
I wrote a whole page and a half almost, so you're good.
I wrote like a page.
Oh my gosh, Chewie.
Oh my
But
God.
yeah,
It's killing him.
No, I'm fine. Maybe one of the dogs, but like.
Zack, what do you look like, Zack? And Gwen just died.
Hey, come here.
Ouch.
So I'm kind of sorry. So I'm kind of an athlete. I played football back in a small town in Colorado. Let me see if I can find my background sheet as well. So I played football. So I'm also an. Oh my God, I'm dying.
Breathe. Drink water.
Yeah, for those of us who might be watching the recording of this, we're currently playing on the 1st of January, right after New Year's Eve, so we're a bit scratched up.
Or happy January 1st, for whatever reason.
New Year. Reilly, it's got a name. It's called New Year.
Yeah, January 1st.
So Zach's mostly like a outdoorsy kind of person, so he's got endurance to like run around and go explore. He's also a rugby player,
Ooh.
so pretty built.
Yeah, they
I'm
are.
glad that we're all bringing our pets to the.
Oh my gosh.
Your cat seems a lot more calm than my
Yes.
rabid dog, though.
Oh my.
Sorry.
Nick has a dog, Gwen has a cat, Katie has Sam.
Uh-huh.
Just a little bit background.
He's
What is
mostly-
I have a bag of
Oh,
truffles.
Sam's playing Xbox. Okay, I was wondering what he was doing. He's just kind of staring off to the distance.
He's playing Smite.
I have these dark chocolate truffles.
Oh my god.
I have
Also,
edamame.
Zack has spiky, like kind of like a Dragon Ball Z-esque hair.
He has
Nice.
anime hair, yeah. He's
Anime
basically
hair,
an anime
and
character.
He has blue eyes, which is kind of rare for a Asian to have. And yeah, that's Zack.
I want to make a Yu-Gi-Oh joke so bad, but like,
So, the last of the bunch would be little Minari. And she just left.
And she's going somewhere.
Goodbye, friends. I am gone.
And she had
That's her adventure ends.
Also, I want to disclaim. Bear with me. This is my first game, like doing something like this. So I'm sorry if I'm like, what do I do? Excuse me.
It's fine.
Fine. Dude,
But still, Minari, would you please introduce yourself to us?
My character is called Hitomi Otonari, but she just goes with Minari. And she's from Japan, from Kyoto, and she's lived actually all of her life with a group of monks, which have sadly now all passed away
R.I.P.
out of mysterious reasons. And now I'm here.
What does she look like?
She is quite small, quite petite. She has long black hair and quite a baby face. So, and she has normal hazel eyes. So, no blue there.
Okay, but back to the reason why we went through all this. So, Miss Karass, who do you talk to?
I'm gonna go talk to, I guess, Gwen, you said her name was Minari?
Yes.
And she's currently in the shower.
Oh, fuck.
Well,
Okay,
she's
I'm not gonna
on
go
the
talk to
way.
her. Okay, so I don't want to be a creeper, and I don't want to walk into her room unprompted and go into her shower. So I think I'm gonna go speak to Zack.
I'm just chilling.
oh, rude. Weaver wants to talk to Marcus, of course.
Oh my god. You're in your car. It's getting
Hey, I
lifted
wouldn't
right
talk
now.
to you whenever we did the whole introduction thing, and then you just kind of like were edgy and like kept to yourself. I was trying to.
And yeah, you're back.
Hey.
Yay!
So,
What did I miss?
Nothing. Vera is not gonna just come into your room while you might be in the shower, so.
Yeah, that's a little crazy. I'd rather not.
get up close personal.
Oh my god.
So yeah, but still, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna talk about? You have all the freedom right now.
Okay.
You could
So
go jump into the ocean if you wanted to, but
just off myself right away. So I'm going to go and I'm going to I guess ask him what he thinks of all this. Like, what do you think of all this?
I personally don't know. This is new for me as well. I just got told that I'm special, I guess.
We're all special. Yeah. Do you believe any of it, or are you just really skeptical about what's going on?
I mean, I'm a little skeptical, but I guess I'll go with the flow for right now.
Mm-hmm.
See where this takes me.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna I'm not sure if I'm as comfortable trusting quite yet, so we'll see how things go.
as I said, I'm going with the flow, winging it, keeping my wits about me.
Okay, good to know.
And what was your name again? I'm sorry, I didn't catch it the first time.
Sure. Vera.
Vera? Nice to meet you. I'm Zack.
Nice to meet you.
Aloe.
Let
me aloe vera.
Oh my god. At least I'm soft, okay?
Oh my god.
That was very good.
You don't burn easily.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I'm a comedic genius, everyone.
So wait, are we in like a living quarters kind of area right now?
It's...
I don't know, where are you chilling, Zack?
I don't know. Anywhere. On top of the car.
It's kind of a bunch of... There's one area in the corridor that's more of a lounge, if you will, where there's like a couple of chairs. But the rest is just... Some rooms have a purpose, some are just bunks. And there's one room at the end that's more of a storage thing. Like a closet.
Okay. So yeah, I guess I'm just in the lounge. Just hanging out. Waiting for the next thing to happen.
You currently have all the freedom to interact, do as you will. I'm gonna just be off for a quick second, so I'm gonna trust you.
Okay.
Is there any way we can explore a little more?
Well, I guess we can just explore and go around. And just for player information, I will be making a nice copy of the map that Eric made, and you'll be getting PDFs of it, so you have like an idea of how this all looks and works.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay, so where did we leave off?
Alright, I think it was just like Vera and Zack were talking in the lounge, and then you left.
Okay, so nothing happened. That's actually pretty okay with me.
Like we
what
said,
are
the noises started up like right after you left. So we didn't.
So maybe it was me. So that might be. I was the thing that changed. But yeah, Marcus, Jacob, what do the two of you do?
I want to look for Tess.
Okay. She. Do you just follow her when she left the captain's office?
Oh, she was there? I don't know.
Yeah,
I wasn't really I wasn't paying attention that much. I've been like really distracted.
All of them were there in the office.
Yes. Yes, I did follow her. I mean, I knew that.
Okay. Just follow her all the way, or do you immediately want to talk to her?
Just follow her.
Okay, she goes back downstairs to the area where you all entered. And she goes, so, nice of you to follow. What do you want?
I mean, I still don't know what I'm doing here, and, like, you were the one that lifted my car, so... It's like...
Well, first you do it again. I got some stuff. I gotta look after my bolt. So, if you can like wait that half an hour, and we're gonna have another meeting, and everything is gonna, I don't know, come clear. I've been doing this for a while now, so I think I got a bit desensitized. I think Bellsworth's the only one who's done it a bit longer than I have.
Alright, fine. I've waited this long, I can wait a little longer. I then go on the hunt for food, I guess.
And
nice.
She just continues going somewhere else. Yeah, there was some tea and biscuits in the captain's office, if you want to go back there.
Drank all the tea.
No, you haven't. There's still tea.
Okay, cool.
There's still a full. There's still like the It's like you didn't drink anything at all.
Oh shit! Magic.
No, not really. He's just really fast and doing tea.
But also magic.
And also
Meanwhile, me, I guess, after I finish packing my things, seeing as I don't really know much about the place so far, I guess I just kind of go to the lounge and hang out.
After a couple of minutes, like 10 minutes, you see Minari coming out of her room, just walks down the corridor and actually checks some of the other rooms, goes through them. What did you do?
Like I'm not going through rooms like looking everywhere. I'm just like room closed.
Checking out every nooks and crannies is saved for later.
Say like kind of walk out and say, hey, what are you looking for? What you doing there?
I'm used to a certain order of things. I just want to know how the order is here.
Makes sense. It's good enough. This is definitely different from how I was living previously, so this is a new experience. It'll get pretty. I'm sure we'll adjust to it just fine. I'm Jacob, by the way.
Minari, nice to meet you. And I just continue on my merry way.
She said, fuck your combo.
Alright. So I guess after that, then I'll just continue on my way to the lounge.
Zack and Vera are already sitting there. I don't know. Are you having small talk?
I think I'm just sitting there quiet and I'm trying to observe everything and I guess just try and pinpoint like different paths that I can take for different scenarios just in case.
Do you write them down on the notebook you have?
No, I do not because I don't want anyone to know, so I keep them in my head. My mind palace.
Okay.
Just kind of go in there and pop myself down on one of the chairs and be open for conversation, but not necessarily force myself onto anyone, because I can tell there's a nervous air in the room.
Nah, really?
Be sipping on tea.
I picture you in the corner of the room, just like, hey guys, what's going on? You're just like, I'm just happy to be here.
That's pretty much me. I'm kind of like I'm kind of going with it, kind of like Zack. I'm, not fully in the whole trust boat yet, but I do know what I've seen in my little introduction that we had in the last session. I do know what I've seen. I do know that those were pretty extraordinary things I've seen. So I'm just gonna kind of go, because they offered me this. I don't see a reason why not to, even though I could think of it.
I'm not dead yet.
Yeah, they're not like giving me any specific reason to distrust them directly. So I'm just kind of looking up. Things are looking up for me. I'm looking forward to this.
Speaking of trust, anyone who's in the lounge right now, I want you to give me a perception awareness roll.
Okay. How do I do that again?
If you have any epics in perception, you cannot use them as of yet.
I have 2 perception and
awareness.
And 3 awareness. So what do? I forget.
You roll 3.
I can't see shit.
6 10, sorry. Okay, that's
Where do you find awareness?
Awareness is one of the skills, the abilities.
Wait, 6d10 or 5d10? Because I have
Oh, I
2
see.
and 3 awareness.
If the total is 5, then the total is 5. I just can't count there.
Okay, here's me.
And Katie, for you, you have an awareness of 3.
Wait,
Okay.
wait, Nick, why
So
you weren't in the lounge, Nick?
Yeah, I went there after I went to speak to Tess.
yeah, he came up.
After he tried to learn the
Looking
art
for
of car lifting.
food.
After I killed
Okay,
the
we
Zero.
have Zack has a total of 2 successes. Marcus has a total of 3 successes.
Katie dropped.
Nah.
Jacob has a total of 1 success, and Vera has no successes, but not a botch yet. So, okay. That's okay. Good. Carry on with the conversation.
At some point, Minari just looks in, bows slightly, and be like, "I'm looking forward to working with you. My name's Minari," and leaves again.
I gave her a head nod.
And so if you don't have anything else to do in any conversation, shortly after, the big wolf just comes trotting down the corridor. Does not pay you any attention. The nose goes down to the floor every now and then, sniffing a bit, but keeps going. And just opens the other door and walks out again.
Wait, this dog can open doors?
It's a wolf, and yes.
They're learning.
Does it use
Well,
its paws or its mouth to like twist the handle? Like,
It's actually you don't actually twist the handle. It's like a pull down thing.
okay, but if it did have a handle, what would I do?
It would use its mouth.
I mean,
it's pretty easy for him to reach because he's like his shoulder height is like 5 feet. He's a big boy.
It is a large wolf.
Okay. Then the 30 minutes have passed, and you notice some people walking into the office again.
Okay.
All right.
What do you do?
Should we follow in?
I've made my way to the office 5 minutes before the time ends.
Okay. There's still freshly brewed tea on the desk and a small plate with biscuits.
I refill my cup.
What type of tea is it?
It's black tea.
Black's a color.
It's a tea too.
okay.
I guess I take another cup and I walk in, kind of sitting away from everyone else.
Does any of you try and look at the tea more thoroughly?
No, I'm feeling more hungry than I am thirsty, so I'll just take a biscuit and just kind of chew on that to fill the void of silence and awkwardness.
I think I try to like stare into the cup.
It was him.
Chris, why?
Yeah, sorry, I had to kick him right now.
Hey, Eric, I gotta hop off for dinner for a little bit, but then I'll be back on after. Is that
We
fine?
can take a break now. So is everyone ready to commence?
Yes.
Yes.
So, who here remembers where we last left off?
We're sitting in the lounge going into the call room, I think.
Into the office with the other strangers. And I was having a biscuit.
Are we really strangers now? We all know each other's names. Like,
No, I think he said like there were other strangers that were there.
oh.
Not strangers, it's just the people who've been welcoming you down there, and the one woman who brought Vera in.
But to answer your question, I do think we're still a little bit strangers. We still gotta have time for those walls to come down.
Okay. Bertov again takes the lead. Apparently a very social person. I hope you found everything so far up to your... I'm gonna say up to your standards. I hope you liked everything so far. Do you have any questions right now before we start this briefing?
Nope.
Your voice is in my head.
Oh my god.
I can hear that.
More than the same.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
What is that?
And I have
face?
one more place. I left behind my pets when I was picked up.
Okay.
Is there a way of reading them?
There is probably a way. We'd have to look into it, especially assuming they are right now most... Gwen, what do you think? Well, they would most probably be in the hands of the Japanese police force right now, since, you know, they're investigating the case. Yeah, that's right.
They're just two bunnies. They're not that hard to steal.
Are you saying we would steal from a federal police force?
I think you've done enough to sabotage their work with me being here.
Scandalous.
She does have a
Are
point.
there any other questions?
Where's the
When do
bath?
we... What?
Puedo ir al baño, por favor?
Oh my god. When do we start?
Start what?
So, learning about this.
I'm assuming you want to
nerds
learn how to
don't
pick up
play.
I'm
cars.
just sitting patiently.
Okay, then let's get to the briefing part. The learning part. You're gonna have a lot of time afterwards.
Briefs.
Don't worry. What? I'm sorry?
What? Me? Oh, I said I love briefs.
Oh my gosh, Jesus Christ.
Okay, according to our intel, thank you, Miss Gwen, for that. There is an object of interest in the Ezekiel South African Museum and Planetarium. Because we are very interested in that, and it might be very dangerous to keep out in the open, we are sending you down there to take a look at it. If it turns out to be supernatural of any kind, we would like you to recover the object. The object in question is an array of stone plates that have been found in an old archaeological site, and they have an interesting inscription. There's 12 of them, and they are all they're currently all held at the museum and are supposed to be unveiled at the opening of the wing in about a week. All of you will be there. We will manage to get invitations for the event. And during the next week, you will create your own undercover identities. Of course, we will be here to help with that, especially our resource and intel management with Miss Gwen and Miss Khan over there. Yes. During the next week, you can, of course, also have some physical activities. We have admittedly limited, but still functioning workout facility. There has been some of our members have been known to spar every now and then, and of course, one of the more important parts, you will be assigned your personal gadgets. Some of which if I
Reilly, what
remember,
the fuck?
if I remember correctly, some of you might already have something. I think your car might be already a gift of the gods, but all of you will be getting something.
Cool.
So now that that is done, we all have a lot of work to do, and yes, yeah. Okay, I'm looking forward to working with you all, and thanks for being here.
You're welcome.
What do you do?
Do we get any dossiers or anything?
Get me what? I didn't,
like
catch
more
that.
information.
Information on what?
I guess strategies, like tactical strategies, like, or is that something that we'll be training with throughout the week, I guess?
Training montage.
You mean like combat tactics?
Yeah, and like different objectives we need to accomplish throughout the mission, and like different rerouting.
There will be, of course, some learning in there, especially because most of you do not have any sort of combat experience or field experience in that case. Yeah.
Alrighty.
I'll go up to Gwen and ask her about my bunnies again.
I will look into that, but right now all have a lot to do, especially I do.
I understand. And just as a quick question, where do we go to get our equipment?
Equipment, of course, will be done by our lovely Tess, since some of it is made by her.
Nice.
Okay.
I guess.
Then I think we all go and look for Tess.
Probably lifting
Fuck.
the car.
No.
Well, she's actually in a workshop right now, and it's a decently sized hall. It's not very cleaned. There's stuff lying everywhere, and the most interesting thing is about a golden plate about this size. With several tendrils coming out of it, running throughout everything, having like tools on some of them. and she's somewhere in the whole mess. Already up to her elbows in work again.
Neat. Suppose I'll, politely interject and, ask about, where can we find our equipment? Where can we get equipped?
Oh yeah, right. The equipment. So, wait a second. What was your name again? You were the Jacob guy, weren't you?
Bingo.
Right. I have all of that over there. Let me get it for you in a second. And she stands up from the vehicle that is toppled and is laying on its side, and just jumps a couple dozen yards to like a array of shelves and lockers. After a short while, she's coming back with what looks like a club with shards stuck into it. A jaguar or a piece of fur. It looks like of a large cat. A little dagger and a box like that you use for cats or something like that. And there's also sounds coming from the box. You're getting kind of a lot of interesting stuff, boy. This and she hands you the club. She has a pair of goggles around her neck that she puts up to look at it. Interesting. Got some sunlight going on there. Looks at the fur, and that was a very very interesting piece of armor. Did have not gotten a chance to work with stuff like that myself, and see that. And just most of her attention is on the cage, and there's a small cat, or in fact, it's an ocelot in there. That just looks at you a bit scowling. And she hands all of that to you.
Awesome. Yes,
well, take some time to get acquainted with all of that. I see some of your new friends also want some stuff, so I'm gonna talk to them.
All right.
And she hurries off to the other group. So, who's next?
It's one of you guys.
I'll go.
Okay. Boy, what's your name? I marked the shells, but I did not. I can't remember faces very well.
My name's Zack.
Zack. Yeah, sure. That's over there. And she goes to a shelf that it's where a large not a large where the blade is put. And she grabs it, and a silver, like a pendant, and gives both of them to you. And yeah, there is your offense, and she hands you the sword, and your defense, and she hands you the pendant, and goes, and I probably still have some stuff left to you, if you want it, and goes back to grab what looks like protective gear for a motorbike. It looks a bit small on you, but she says, "No worries, it'll fit."
Okay. Put on the gear.
It fits somehow. It fits perfectly. It does not restrict your movement in any way, even though it's actually pretty. It's got some additional protection against, well, impact. Probably not so much for like guns or sharp stuff.
Don't get shot.
Okay. Shot or stab.
But effectively,
All right.
it's biker gear that gives you an additional +2 to your blunt soak, and also does not have any negative movement modifiers.
This information is at the lower middle area of your character sheet where it's armor.
Armor.
Yeah, just
How much do I get?
it's an additional 2 in the blunt.
Okay.
Yeah. Great, but I'm still gonna look out for you. I think I have something you could use at some point. Who's next?
Okay.
Ooh, right. I think actually we found something of yours which was already interesting in some way. But first, the two of us are gonna have some fun because, and she goes off to like a cupboard and comes back with a couple of jars. And jars, and there is ink in them.
Oh.
Minari is very intrigued and makes her way over there.
Basically, we thought that your stuff might be interesting to be a bit less obvious. So, and she also pulls out a sword. And we're gonna have, if you want, we can integrate some of your stuff disguised as tattoos on your body.
Let's go.
And I'm gonna look forward to that, but
Wait,
later.
what?
Also, I think Ruth took care of that. We got your rats. We took care of because they might help you.
Yes, I miss my rats, my babies.
So, who's still missing?
Me.
You, other boy. Marcus. Marcus was the name, right?
Carboy.
Apparently, yeah.
His
Your
nickname.
car is actually powered by divine energy.
Wow.
But since with What?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Just go on.
I have some vehicles of my own for that. But yeah, we have. But you still need some weaponry because that's always useful. And she pulls out a small pistol. Not a small pistol. She pulls out a pistol and what looks like the shield from that was in the engine part of your car. And
Wait,
it's actually a shield.
Did you just go through my stuff and are giving me my own stuff?
Yeah, sure, but
Worst
did
Christmas
you know what
present
this can
ever.
do? Do you know what this shield can do? And she grabs it, points at something on the far end of the hall. Do you see that mannequin over there? And she hurls the shield over there. It hits the thing in the head and comes flying straight back to her. She catches out of thin air. So,
I swear to God, if you're fucking Captain America.
and she hands it over to you. So you're gonna have fun with that.
Fine, I'll take it.
Wow. So enthusiastic.
Last but not least, we have the small girl. Hi.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hi. Your name was Minari, wasn't it?
Exactly.
Okay, we've got some fun stuff for you. One of them, you might also get some tattoos.
Yay!
Emma,
Tattoo club.
Then we also have something. We recovered something from your monastery.
You did.
Yeah, Gwen took care of that. One is this thing, and she hands you like a necklace, prayer beads, what looks like prayer beads to you, and also an actual necklace with like a small pendant on it. She hands you the pendant and takes the prayer beads herself and says, "And look what this can do!" And she clenches it. There's a small glow, and the chain gets just longer and longer and forms some solid parts. And she has what looks like nunchucks, but with a blade on one end.
Ooh.
In her hand. So I haven't had a chance to use something like that, so it's gonna be fun.
I have used it quite often. It is very fun.
But there's one special thing for you as well, and she asked you to put on the pendant.
I put it over my head.
And now concentrate on it really hard for a second. And out of the necklace, you see some mist forming out of the necklace, and suddenly an animal shoots out and looks at you, and it looks like a small, semi-translucent fox. And it looks at you, and then it says your name in a very familiar voice. Because the voice belonged once to the head of your monastery. The man
Oh no.
One of the men you presumably murdered.
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
Dun, dun, dun.
Do we know that?
You don't know anything of that. You also can't make out any clear shapes, just something shimmering in front of her face that she seems to react to. Well, that's the gadget part. I gotta go back to my vehicle because that's a fun project I'm having. Have you ever thought, how many explosives can I strap to a vehicle while still having it safe to drive?
Oh my god.
I haven't. Well, except for now. So yeah. Hope you're having fun. Dinner is at 8, so do what you must for the rest of the day. And she just runs off. And now you basically have a week of free time that you can use to do anything you want. You can think of if you work on any. One of the tasks you're given is to work on your secret identity, and both Gwen and Lyra will help you with everything that they can to have like official documents forged and stuff like that, or favors called in. You can of course work out, and yeah, you have a ton of free time, and that's why I'm gonna end the session here. So you have until next session you can think of what you're going to do in this time, and if there are any scenes you want to play out, we will do that. Start of the next session. Hope you have fun.
Right. Alrighty. Oh my gosh.